And welcome back, folks, to Supermarket Simulator. We are kicking things off, and we have our good friend here who's actually going to take a lot of the pressure off of us from having to do all this hands-on cashier work. So what we're going to do is we're going to start restocking our shelves. We're just going to go through, pretty much add, I want to say, like nearly one box of everything. Those look okay. Get those, get some of that. And we're going to work on progressing to the next tier. We'll get two of those. I guess we'll get one of those. Yeah, I can get one more cheese. So we're going to work on progressing to the next set of licenses. We're going to work on getting some additional storage space out here. And we are going to, put that away, continue to expand the supermarket. We have the required store level to get a few more licenses. So we've got 2 whole batches there, but we definitely need a lot more furniture to make that happen, right? So we're just going to focus on grinding out, get a little bit more money in the bank, get a little bit more store progress, and we're going to see where we end up. And just like that, our shelves are looking nice and full. And in the meantime, we managed to rack up a couple $100. We're looking pretty good. He's been super helpful. I don't have to worry about anything. It's just click, order, restock, click, order, restock, and off we go. So while we do have to pay for them each day, it's pretty minor. Like the quality of life improvement is fantastic. So we do have a little bit of extra stock here to kind of keep these shelves going. And we're just going to keep grinding away at it. I think I'm going to go ahead and get the double fridge and then get the license that's going to give us this stuff here, all the sodas and colas. These guys are going to be shelving unit required, so we'll work on that one next. So if we go back to furniture, it's looking for $375. So we could get it now, but we need that $550 for the license. So we'll be, we're a little ways off. We're not too far off, but at the rate we're going, this should be easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And you know what, folks? I recorded a huge section and didn't have my audio on. So I'm going to run you through what happened. As you can see, we have a few more things here. First things first, we got that second fridge, we bought the license, and we have filled it up. What's weird is there's this other milk product. It's actually just milk, but it's on the shelf, which is a little bit odd. So not quite sure why that one is the case, but we have the one there plus the 5 new SKUs here. We bought this shelf, so we've got that one there, and we are, open this up, we are $4 away from, well, not after we pay our bills. We are now, about $65 away from getting this next license right here. So this will be 6 more items. It looks like yogurt may go on the fridge, but the rest of it should go onto a shelf, which we have ready and waiting for us. What also is important to note is we have paid off our loan. So we no longer have to make payments on it. It's all done, but it does open up this $2,000 medium loan if we so desire, which I have been thinking about. You do end up paying extra $600 back, but the progression is quite slow, where getting that infusion of cash would really help out. This guy is ultra slow, so it would benefit us to get the expansion, get another cashier desk that I could operate, or if we hire another employee, or we do the self-checkout. So we need some assistance in that regard because it's going to become unmanageable relatively quickly. Ooh, we got a wholesale offer. They're offering to sell us 2 boxes of milk for a little bit cheaper. We may as well. We're going to need the stock anyway, so let's just grab it and bring it in. We're not quite full, but I think I've got 1 box. No, not quite. We'll hold it for now. I know I can get a storage shelf, but it was like $200, and the amount of money that we need, it's really not worth wasting $200. Also, I know you can get storage, so at some point we'll get that. But we want $750 for the growth. We want $550 for this license. We also want, in furniture, either self-checkout with the scales, this, so it's 150 plus 900, so 1050, or we get a checkout counter for 500 and I can man it. we can't afford a second cashier until we get to store level 20, and we're only 13. So we're a little ways off that one. So a couple options. I think the first thing to do is to get that license, to get that shelf filled up, start getting more items through the door, that kind of thing, right? We're starting to see better profit margins on some of the new products. So I'm thinking, like, for example, look at this milk, $9.25 profit, which is crazy. So I'm hoping the licenses that we're looking at getting have a good profit margin on those items as well. That would really help out. Like I said, it's kind of a slow grind. Like, it takes me a couple days to really get anything. Bread's too expensive. So it's an enjoyable game, but the pacing is a little rough. I'm trying to cut out stuff where I can, because I don't think it is all that exciting to just watch me unpack boxes all day. So if you have feedback on that, I'd love to hear it. I don't really know what you guys want to see, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is I will pick up the license now, because we have $6.75. So let's get that. So we've got cake, candy, cereal bar, chocolate bar, and yogurt. So if we go to products, here, they're always at the bottom, which is handy. So it's going to be the last 6. So shelf, 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 fridge, shelf, shelf. So if we get one of each, what would that cost? $150, and we have $125. So let's give this guy a minute. We could do everything onto that shelf, and then we need one fridge space, which we could just move. We have so much milk. So let's grab this out of there, move that over there. We'll keep that one on the bottom as kind of like extra. And we needed 154. We have 173, so let's get that going. So this is our one fridge space. It's a lot of milk, yogurts. Okay, 30 of them. Okay, let's get a price on those guys. So market price 2, let's make it 250. Not 256, 250 flat. There we go, 161 profit. Not the greatest on that one. Chocolate, let's go here. We can actually put more than the 5, so we can do some extras up top, which is kind of what I've been doing anyway. So 392, let's go 450. 272 is not awful. Some sort of candy. Okay, move quick. We do need to get another stock order for all that placed pretty soon. 418, let's make it 5 flat. $3 on a $5 item isn't bad. We got more cereal, which I could put with this cereal. I don't know if customers actually care about organization and actual methodology of where you're placing things, but I guess we'll just do it for our own sake. Okay, let's get the lights on. Let's see what we've got in terms of stock here. So milk we don't care too much about right now. The cola's in the fridge. That's in the fridge. So we have nothing shelf related. So let's get some orders in before we close. We'll grab one more of those. One more of those. Jeez. Yeah. This is going to cost us $263. Okay, one more customer. It feels like we're approaching that critical mass, you know, where you've got enough to really bring in a decent profit each day. It's just a matter of getting it through the door, right? Like, this guy can only do so much, and he's like maxed out his limit pretty much. So I think we're making a couple $100 a day profit after we stock our shelves quite full. So it's only a few days to get to make this 275. That's a good ROI right there. It's not high, but it's good return. It takes a couple days, and then we get to unlock something new. So we're getting there, slowly but surely. Incremental improvements. All right, we are furiously stocking and selling. We doubled up our kind of new products on this shelf here. We've been loading up these guys. We've been keeping it nice and full. So we're doing okay, right? We're not millionaires. We're not raking in an incredible amount of dough here, but it is trending in the right direction. So let's get a couple of these more orders in. like we're not desperate for anything, so I don't want to go crazy on our stock here. That's frustrating. I hate how it fits a little bit more. Now I've got a bunch of random boxes, so let's try to work these out. So the game plan, I think, is to get the expansion and get another checkout. Did someone buy one? Yeah. My thinking is if we were to get the next license and get more shelf space, this guy can barely keep up as it is, right? He needs help. So the way that we get him his help is to get a checkout or a self-checkout. Now, self-checkout is going to cost us like, I think it was $1,050, which is a hell of a lot of money. We can get a normal checkout for 500, which we could use. And then as we progress to store level 20, we can hire another employee. So it will be useful down the road, right? It's not wasted money right now. If we do that, that will give us a little bit more of a, I guess, a cushion to get these customers out the door. So like that person just stole from me, maybe? Either stole from me or just couldn't get into the queue and they left. So we're kind of struggling as a result of that. Okay, put the flower out. We're in a bit of a kind of a situation where it's like an analysis paralysis, right? We have multiple things, multiple choices that we could make. Some of which I would say are objectively wrong, and then a bunch of them are just like, who cares? Like you could go either way. But okay, we're out of time here. Well, to put in an order in the morning, yogurt's too expensive. Okay, let's take a look. Stock-wise, we're doing okay, and the cake's too expensive. Wow, okay. 160. Okay, let's make it 225. And 210, maybe 250. So like our overall profit is slowly increasing. I think if we get the expansion with 750, we can get one more of these, which is 500. I think that's the plan. If we get the expansion first, it'll allow us to see what the new space is like. We have to push everything kind of backwards towards the walls, I'm guessing. We'll reorient the checkouts. Maybe they go, I don't know if they can go lengthwise, like kind of like this way. I just don't know if it'll like get people in the way or not. They don't seem to mind. So let me work through this one. I'll see you guys in maybe a day or two in game when I accrue a little bit of money. And hopefully we have a nice little setup here and then we can kind of progress from that. Okay, just hopping back. Actually, while I'm going, it looks like I got a random order come through from someone who wants me to pick up their stuff and deliver it to them, which I've never seen before. So how do I put stuff in the bag? Take, right click. Okay, apple juice and some cheese. Can I grab that? Yep. Okay. So now if we close it and tag it, it goes to Chloe Bailey. Where can I find Chloe Bailey? That is a good question. If I drop it, I check my map. Zoe and Chloe. Okay, so she's kind of like around the corner. And there's another order waiting for me as well. So, interesting. I don't know how or why this unlocked, but I guess it did. Is that Chloe over there? Yeah, straight ahead. Okay, let's drop this sucker off. How do I give it to you? Deliver. Okay, 50 bucks. That's not terrible. Although my other order has just disappeared. I don't know why. Maybe I just need to get back in the store. Let's go run quick. I'm at $873 though, so that's expansion ready to go. Let me just quickly do some cleaning. Maybe you just ran out of time for that other order. How are we looking? We're looking pretty solid. Shelves are getting a little bit bare, so let's quickly put in an order. What do we need here? Let's grab one of those. Get some cereal, some milk. That milk is really popular. Coffee. Got some garbage to clean up. Use some eggs, some cheese because we just delivered some, and let's put that order in. Okay, so 760. We're, I think it was 750 for the expansion. So let's actually, while we're here, let's do that now. Let's just expand, shall we? So management, growth, section 3, $750, extra 4x4 meters. And, ooh, look at that. Okay, so it opened a little back section here. Okay. So what we could do is start pushing, maybe, let's see, we could do like a little kind of L of racks, these guys. Okay, let's try that one. So let me finish up the day. I'm going to get all this stuff kind of restocked, reorganized. It's about 7 p.m., so we're going to have to finish up these customers. And I'm going to start moving stuff around. So I'll check back in with you guys when we are, I guess, resituated. Okay, so I have made some changes. I've got the shelves tucked onto the corner. We left this little space here. I'll show you why. Because you can get this shelf inner corner for $210, and I think that would fit perfectly in here. So I think that's a good buy. We've moved our checkout man over here. So the guys will stupidly kind of queue up this way and then kind of loop around. But that will allow us to maybe get some stuff going on here. And I think what we're going to do is aim for self-checkout, right? So if we go to management, we go to growth, sections we don't need. We need hiring. The self-checkout, we can do it at level 5 and at level 10. So it seems like maybe they're kind of pushing us that way, where you can get them a lot sooner, and they're probably a lot quicker. So we're going to aim for that. To do that, we need the self-checkout and the scale, which if we go back to furniture, the self-checkout was 900 and the scale was 150. So 1050 for that. So it's going to take us a little bit of time. But otherwise, I think we're in a pretty good spot. I won't get that shelf quite yet. I'll get the self-checkout first, and then we'll get the shelf. We can get more stock, and we'll just kind of keep rocking and rolling from there. So I'm going to let this man do his business. We're going to open this shop up, and we're going to pop back once we have our self-checkout set up, and I'll see you in a minute. Just jumping back in. Look at this dungeon that this man is operating in. It is just dark. So we're definitely going to have to get some lights. So they're like 40 bucks a piece, so I'll pop a few lights in. Nobody really seems to care. It's just I'm like fumbling around in the dark trying to restock it and clean it. But it's just something we have to do. However, we are up to $648, so we're not too far off. Probably about one more day, and we'll have enough for the self-checkout setup. Maybe a little bit into the next day once you factor in hiring costs and stuff like that. But we are not too far off. And would you look at that, folks? We have our self-checkout with our helper. It only took like one day. We only have 21 bucks in the bank, so we're not doing too well, and we definitely need some more stock. But we can now handle a hell of a lot more customers, hopefully. What seems to be happening is at the end of the day, at like 9 p.m., there's this massive queue. Like this guy was backed up completely, and there was like 10, 12 people just waiting around. So whenever he finished one would just join the line. Now, I don't know if that means other customers don't enter the store because it's already over full. Oh, we got an online order. So it'd be interesting to see if we actually get more throughput as a result of this. Okay, so this, we have 6.5 minutes left. What I don't understand is how I'm supposed to see the map. So it's Bryce Floyd. I have to drop it and then see that he's up here and then pick it up and then run up. There's a better way. I'm sure you can get like I know you can get cars and bikes and stuff like that, but like for the small chunk of change that you get from doing these orders, like is it even worth it? I don't know. It's questionable. I guess if your store is fully automated and you're like your hands off, I guess you could do it. But is it worth it for a couple bucks? I don't know. We'll wait and see how that one kind of goes. Right now, the focus is to see how this guy performs, right? This new employee. If he's able to handle some volume, that means that we can get more products, so we can get that extra shelf, right? And we can get okay, it's not so bad. At least she seems to be going the same speed as this guy does, so it kind of effectively is a second cashier. We're gonna need more, but those are expensive. So these are $1,050 for this setup, and one of these is 500. Right now, if we get to, so we can. Oh man, we can't get a second helper. However, one helper, I guess, can do multiple scales, right? Because if you can't get your second helper until you get 4 scales, then it kind of defeats the purpose. Whereas the cashier would need his own stand, obviously. So I'm guessing he can help multiple setups. So not terrible, still expensive. Don't want that. Just for 1,050, you know? Not sure I can justify it. But let's get some orders placed. We need to restock. We are in a bit of a tight spot on funds. Water. So we may need to wait a little bit. Yeah, this needs 318. Add one of those. Yeah, 328. That's not too bad. This order alone, let's see what's coming up here. This looks like a big one. Oh, no. Well, this will be big. Those milk are really expensive. Yeah. So this dude's saying chocolate's too expensive. Okay, there we go. Let's check the chocolate price. That is not bad. That guy's just a cheapskate. That's all. Okay, let's get this stuff on the shelf. Customer's waiting for help. Are you... Yeah, okay. I was like, is that not your job, buddy? I feel like that's what you should be doing. Nope. Can't put that one out. Okay, let's grab everything from outside. Got the cheese. Pick up that garbage in a second. Can't do that. I also realized as I was milling about the other day, waiting for my cashier to finish his job, people that were just like running out the door and they were saying like no sweat, and I was kind of confused what the hell was going on. Yeah, they were stealing from me. So I just like started chasing them down and then just bopping them in the head with the bat. So I don't know how much I've lost from thieves. It's probably a decent chunk because realistically I've just been stalking. So I haven't been paying too much attention. Like, why are they walking out empty-handed? Could they just not find what they needed? So like we can turn off the thieving because it is kind of annoying. I know we can hire security guards, so maybe that's the route we take instead. A little bit more realistic that way, I suppose. No, not quite. I guess early game, money's more important. No, it's already filled. Money's more important, so like losing anything is bad. I've got more of those somewhere here, don't I? Yeah. So I guess it's just kind of painful that way. Apple juice. Okay, soda's too expensive. Cola's too expensive. Let's check. That is not too expensive. No. There's just some real cheap people coming through today, I guess. Because like, I don't think we need to be at cola still. Shit. I don't think we need to be at market rate. Like, that just doesn't make sense. Can I put one out? Nope. I feel like all these stores, like these little stores, are always a little bit above, you know, quote unquote market rate, and that's just kind of expected. This cola. Oh, maybe they mean this cola. Right, you pay for the convenience factor, right? You're always going to be more expensive than like the big supermarkets. So I'm assuming that's model in game as well. That one's a little bit expensive. Knock that down a little bit. Okay, almost through these, and we need to place another order after this is done. The cake is too expensive. Okay, we'll take a look at that one in a moment. Which one's that? It's this stuff here, right? Or is it this one? 210, 250, that's not bad. Check that one as well. 420 on 5. That's a little bit expensive. Oh, not 500. 5. There we go. Spaghetti. Still haven't bought my light. Customer's waiting for help. You got it? Yep. Should be good. Let's get these windows. Okay, we're almost back up to 500 again, which is nice. We'll put in an order really quickly before that 9 p.m. closure. So we'll get one of those, more of those again. Running close. Put it in. Okay. Not too bad. Yeah, we're definitely, it feels like we're getting through more customers with the second guy. I could be crazy. it may just be a matter of getting to them faster, right? Because they piled up before, and this time they're not. It's okay. Yeah, 9 p.m. before, this was just a huge line. So we're doing okay. Check the profit at the end of this one. Get the T out. I think I'll grab that light in the morning. 9 p.m. It won't show up now. There's no point putting in an order. This was, what's that one? The green soda? Okay. Do I have any of that? No, I don't. Did I order it? Maybe. Blocked my thing. I didn't. Beautiful. Okay. What else do we have? What else? Yep. I don't know why it keeps telling me they're waiting for help. Like, that guy wasn't doing anything else, so he should have all the time in the world for that. Maybe it's just like one of those generic, like as soon as they need help, it just pings, right? Excuse me. If it just pings, and then if you have multiple kind of stands and stuff like that, then that's when he kind of runs over. But since we only have one, he doesn't have to go very far. Okay, it looks like we've got through every customer. One milk left. That's kind of annoying. Is there anything else that we can get out? Pop that one out. We need to clean up that pile of garbage. The stuff in the corner here. Good to go. Okay, so we couldn't get the milk. The cola, we can get a few more out. Good to go. So I just spend my whole day stocking, essentially. Water, I think I can put a couple. No, actually that was already full. I keep buying peanut butter for some reason, even though I don't need it. So I had like 3 boxes piled up at one point. I finally am working them down. Oh, I'd love to see it. Orange juice, we're looking good on that one. The milk stuff, I think I have filled. The flour, this stuff always sells. We can fit one out. Yep. Good. And last but not least was this lemon juice. Empty that one there as well. Beautiful. Okay. Close up shop. Yeah, a little bit dungeon-like, but you know what? That's okay. We're still working. How did we do? Day 23, 18 products were too expensive. We will need to adjust our prices. Upgrade costs were $10.50 because of our self-checkout. Staff payment of $230. We did have the $100 extra to hire our guy. Normally it should be 80 and 80. So our net profit is negative 743. So if you exclude the $10.50 plus the 100 extra payment, we're looking at $11.50. That's about a $400 profit in one day. And we did some pretty beefy restocking. So overall, we're starting to progress at a little bit of a faster rate, right? So what we need to do, in my mind, is furniture. We want that corner rack, right? So that's 210. We can go to the next license, which was 750, which gives us more corner rack stock. All of that should be on a shelf. So overall, that's what, 960? So we're about 500 bucks off. So within one day, we can get that rack in there and filled up. And I think that's probably our next goal. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it for this episode here, and we're going to hit that goal in the next episode. So hopefully you guys enjoyed. Stick around for the next one, and I'll see you guys shortly.